in this growth in data maturity, the next stage of which many companies are either adopting or at least building models that are AI driven using machine learning techniques. What are some of the challenges that CDOs are commonly going to encounter as they go through those stages of maturity? You mentioned one already, which is disparate data sources, silos. What are some others?
I feel, and I can give you, personal examples. I feel the maturity, not the data maturity, the maturity within the organization, the readiness to consume something like that. Yes, we can build that predictive model, but is the organization ready to consume something like that? If we think, so Tim, if we think about a data value chain or the data journey, we start from our descriptive analytics and we move on to the diagnostic, where, right from what is happening to why it happened, then we move on to predictive and then prescriptive. I feel that most of the organizations, and don't quote me on that, but and that's just my understanding based on just talking to other peers across the industry. Most of the organizations are still doing their descriptive and diagnostic.
Yes.
They are still trying to understand what's out there. And they still do not have the full spectrum of what's out there. I myself do not know how much data is sitting across the credit union. We know we have the different data sources through which data is being entering our organization space. But the point is moving from that, what is happening, and then kind of deep diving, why is it happening? The whole idea of what will happen is a far goal.
Yeah.
So I think that readiness, when you asked that question, Tim, that what would be the challenge? I think that readiness, how we are data professionals, we are ever ready. We could write codes in Python and R, we could build all the fancy predictive models, but the folks who are not data savvy, who are more business oriented, they have the business minds, are they ready for something like that? I think that's where I feel the biggest gap is bringing everyone together on that.
Yeah, organizational maturity. So this touches on a point that I encounter often, and that is I hear companies say, we want to democratize analytics. Yes. And I say, well, wait a minute. Do you want to democratize analytics, which could lead to confirmation bias at scale, right? Because you have non-data scientists, finding data to support a position, but not looking for and identifying data that might, be in the other direction against what they want to do. What you really want is insights at scale, validated insights at scale that will help your organization make smarter decisions faster. And it sounds like that's the direction, at least you're moving in, and that's what you prescribed as something to look out. So I think we have some common ground there. So let's go into then, what does the innovation process look like for you in terms of raw data to Eureka, a wonderful insight attached to a KPI that we can influence, that will move our business forward, deliver higher customer satisfaction levels, improve operational efficiency, decrease fraud, any of that. Give me an idea about the, several weeks or however long it takes for you to go from hypothesis, data to, okay, now we've got a solution.
Right. So, some of the things, and when it comes to innovation, and that's exactly where we are heading at this point within our organization, some of the things that we are doing we are meeting with different business functions, right? From finance, marketing, we have retail banking, typical to any bank or credit union, member care, member experience, product management, to make sure that we are innovating and we are being creative and we are optimally utilizing data. We have actually started working on collecting the right use cases to understand where exactly the pain points are. When it comes to a bank or a credit union, there are two things that are truly important. One is delivering phenomenal member or customer experience. And the second is driving growth, right? I mean, we all are here to sell more products and services and increase our assets. And obviously, more than anything, we want to deliver phenomenal member experience, personalized banking experience, right? And that's where we are focusing right now. We are identifying where exactly the gaps are, the pains are, identifying the right use cases. And the way we are approaching it is, okay, we have, let's say for fraud, we have these three use cases where we want to detect fraud in the transactions, where we want to alert our members that there is a suspicious activity going on. We want to provide personalized banking. So we are focusing on what those advanced analytical use cases look like, and then build the right predictive models so that we stay ahead in the game and we are more proactive versus reactive. The other part of it during this whole process, focusing on data quality, which is the data governance piece of it, ensuring if we have the right data in the first place or not, and what part of that data is bad, what steps do we have to take to fix the existing data, and then what steps do we have to take to ensure the upcoming data is clean to begin with. Because I feel bad data in, bad insights out. So
yeah,
right. And I want to share this, Tim. I read somewhere, and this is not something I made up, so I'm not going to take credit for that. I read about this whole concept of data factory. I think data as a function is like a manufacturing unit, right? You have data that comes from all disparate or different sources. It gets generated. It goes through the transformation process where you come up, you build power analytics and machine learning applications, and then as a data leader, our job is to ensure there is deployment of that, there is a consumption of that, right? And there is high data quality across this whole data pipeline. So I think that I really love this example, stole from somewhere, but I'm going to continue to share it.
Well, I think it's a great example, and it works. What I have found in is exactly what you mentioned in terms of the idea of the quality assurance. And little secret for those of you that aren't already in the world of data, 70 to 80% of all of the hard work is in assuring data quality, normalizing the data, all that hard data engineering work. And yes, there are now great tools to help you do it, but ultimately it's a person making a judgment, getting a tag, something like that gets it done. And so that part about making sure that your raw materials that go into the beginning of that factory are suitable for the process that's going to create a good product, could not agree more. It's absolutely essential. And it's probably the most painful part. I mean, when we look at the statistical techniques and the machine learning techniques, they're well understood, they're successful, but none of them will give you a result unless you've already got great data governance of your data going in.